9:30. So, folks, we're just in the green room right now and letting folks file in. We'll get started in a couple minutes, so I'll go ahead and go back on mute, and then we'll get started promptly at 9:30. Okay, everyone. Good morning and welcome to the webinar. Jeff Beglin here from Cornerstone Individual, and we're starting off with our first webinar of the year with Cigna. But you know the drill. Housekeeping issue here. If you got a question, you'll put it in the question box. We'll get to that during and after the presentation, so don't hesitate to post your questions out there for us. And Jeff Beglin here, Business Development Manager here at Cornerstone, starting my 21st year at Cornerstone. Can you believe it? Joining me is Carla Winfrey. She is our individual specialist par excellence, and she helps out with all of the reporting and customer service, broker service type issues. You can reach out to her concerning individual issues you might have with a client, and she can track stuff down, and she coordinates with me on everything. So Carla Winfrey, she's fantastic. And Christine, can you hear me?
I can. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. So Christine Ebert from Cigna, up in, is it central Wisconsin?
Southeast Wisconsin.
Southeast Wisconsin.
Milwaukee. Yes.
Towards Milwaukee. Okay. So it's a balmy 17 degrees up there today. And, well, it's winter in the Midwest. So we love it. We just love it. It's just time to hunker down. And a couple more people filing in. Okay. And Christine's going to discuss the latest with Cigna, dental, etc. Maybe she'll touch on hearing as well, and vision. But let's toss the keys to Christine.
All right, I will share my screen.
Okay. And guys, if you have any questions, particularly if you have any issues with the audio or something like that, just throw that in the question box because I monitor that as well. And we're pulling up your presentation. There we are. Fantastic. Take it away, Christine.
All right, well, thank you all for joining today, and hopefully you didn't have to go outside. I know it's been one of those winters where I'm saying, why do I live in Wisconsin? So we'll see. We haven't had one of those for a while. But again, thank you all for joining. If you did join last time, we do have some changes that we can go over for 2016 on the dental plans. And we also did roll out some different, a different platform. So our Dental Pro is our new enrollment platform, and we can just go over that as well. So my contact information is below. Again, my email is christine.ebert@cignahealthcare.com. My phone number, where you can either call or text me, sometimes texting is a little bit easier, is 262-226-7636. So if you do text me, please give me your name, because I don't have everyone's numbers saved in my phone, so it does make it a little bit easier to know who I'm talking to. So again, thank you for joining today. I'm glad to be the first of the new year for 2026 to present to you all. Again, if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. So today we're going to go over just a little introduction about Cigna, the IFP dental plans, and then we'll have time for some Q&A. One thing that I really did want to kind of clear up, there's been a lot of confusion over Cigna, IFP, dental, and the previous dental that was with Cigna for Medicare and ancillary. So that now the Medicare and ancillary dental and other ancillaries have gone to HealthSpring. So that happened April 1st of last year. So we really have no way of assisting other than giving the number for HealthSpring on anything related to Medicare or the other ancillary plans that Cigna used to offer. But today I'm going to be talking about the IFP dental. We also in our department have the ACA that is in several states. 11 states, which if you need a training on that, I can get that hooked up as well. We don't have that product in Ohio, but in other states. All right, so basically with dental, it's, health focused. There's a lot of health metrics that are related to good oral health. So we really want to deliver solutions for better outcomes and lower costs, make it affordable, and make it simple. So one thing that we're going to talk about is our Cigna and My Cigna app, which is really phenomenal at showing, the dental plan and finding solutions and providers. So we can go into that a little bit later. So let's give an overview of our preventative and low deductible dental plans. We also do have DVH plans, so dental, vision, and health plans, which we'll go over as well. So we have a preventative plan. We have the Cigna Dental 1000 and the Cigna Dental 1500. So $500 deductible per individual on the dental 1000 and 1500, $150 for the family. Calendar year maximum again is 1000 and 1500. And there are waiting periods on some of the different classes. So class 2, preventative, class 3, and then class 4 is orthodontia. So we do have orthodontia on our $1,500 plan. it's a $500, or I'm sorry, $50 lifetime deductible, 50%, and then 1,000 lifetime maximum on that plan. Also, one good selling point about this plan is it's not just limited to children, it's also includes adult ortho, which is becoming very popular with Invisalign. So we do cover Invisalign, and we will go over that as well. So again, if we look at basic and diagnostic and preventative, that's covered at 100%. That's things like exams, cleanings, and bite wing x-rays. Restorative is covered under 80%, at 80% up to their annual maximum. And then class 3 is crowns, dentures, and bridges. Okay. So the premiums on the bottom are just the average premium. Again, it does vary by state and zip code. We do also have our preventative plan that is just 100% coverage for preventative things like oral exams, cleanings, and bite wing x-rays. So that is also available. Again, the $1,500 plan does have a $50 lifetime deductible and a lifetime maximum of $1,000. So a little bit again about the orthodontia. We did kind of cover this, but more and more adults are seeking ortho. So again, it is available on the $1,500 plan. Invisalign is covered, but it is a base rate of metal braces. So they should get costs from their provider. It's always best to go to an in-network provider because of the pricing discounts. So that is one thing that we do have available as well.
Christine, can I jump in real quick? Just a couple
Sure.
things. Guys, in the question box, if you could just respond on how the sound quality is, just let me know. Some folks are having a couple issues with that. By and large, I think it's okay. And then the other thing, describe Invisalign. Is that like like a newer type of brace, or how does that work?
So Invisalign has actually been around for, wow, many years now, at least. I don't even know how long. I just know that it's been around. My daughter actually had Invisalign. So it is an option, not for all cases, especially with children, but for minor adjustments and bringing teeth, together if you have gaps. But basically you go in and you get a treatment plan, and then every month to 2 months you have different trays that are put in your mouth that you have to change out. So instead of having the metal braces on your teeth, you have these little discs that are clear that attach the trays to, and each tray is fitted to each progression of your straightening of your mouth. So some people have to wear them for a year, some people have to wear them for a couple years. So depending on your treatment plan, you have different trays for each step of the way.
I
hope
got
that
it. So,
kind of makes
and
it easy.
and it's a little more presentable than the old choo-choo tracks like I had when I was
Yes.
15 or whatever. So I
Yes.
see. And
Yes. You
okay.
can take them out,
Okay.
and brush your teeth. You take them out when you eat. Um, which again, with kids sometimes gets a little scary because they throw them away, right?
I,
But
yeah. I put my retainer in the dryer. It didn't work so well.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I know how that is.
yeah, yeah. So, okay, let's go a little bit about into the waiting periods and treatment process. So orthodontia does have, the waiting period cannot be waived. And again, it's only on the $1,500 plan, and it does not reset. So if a customer comes from a different carrier, chances are they're already paid their lifetime got their lifetime maximum from that other carrier, because usually with ortho, you have to kind of pay up front and do a treatment plan, okay? But if under treatment, if that was started with another plan, this this plan may not be available after the waiting period has been met. Okay, it kind of depends on that maximum benefit. Or if it was less than $1,000, we would pay out the difference. So for example, we have a lifetime maximum of $1,000. If the previous carrier only paid $300, we would pay the other $700 after the waiting period has been met. Okay. So now we're going to go a little bit into our DVH plans, and with our DVH plans, we do have waiting periods as well. And we'll go over how you can get around the waiting periods if you have previous coverage. But we have a DVH 1,000 plan, 2,000 plan, and $3,500 plan. Again, for these on the family or on the individual on the 1,000, it's $50 per individual, $150 deductible for the family. For the 2,000 and the 3,500, it's just $100 deductible per individual. So calendar year max depends on the plan. Waiting periods have no waiting period for class 1 and 2, so that's diagnostic and preventative, and basic restorative. Okay, class 3 major restorative is covered at 50% on the 2,000 and the 3,500, and it has a 12-month waiting period on the 2,000 plan and a 6-month waiting period on the $3,500 plan. So just a little bit difference in the coverage there. The only plan that has implant coverage, which is going to be a class 4, is the $3,500 plan. So it's 50%, and then it's a $2,000 lifetime maximum on the implants. So we'll go a little bit into that. I think it's on the next slide, or it's coming up. We also have vision, exam, and material allowance, and those vary by plan. So it's materials $100 up to $300, again, dependent on the plan on the graph. Hearing aid exam and allowance is on the 2,000 and the 3,500 plan. The exam is $50, and the hearing aid allowance is $500 for the $2,000 plan and $3,500 for the $700, I'm sorry, for the $3,500 plan. So again, average national premiums are below. Again, those do vary by zip code and state. Again, the $3,500 hearing and vision DVH plan is the only one that has implants covered. All right, so dental benefits. Again, we just went over the dental benefits, and we'll go over the waiting periods in more detail. Okay, so let's look at the vision. So there's no deductible, no waiting period. For vision, it is through iMed, and I do have a link for that as well to look up providers. There's 4,500 providers across the nation, with over 151,000 locations nationwide. Again, the benefit, the material allowance depends on the plan they're on. It's between $100 and $300. And again, iMed is the provider. For hearing, effective January 1st, we did move to True Hearing to be the designated vendor. So it is replacing hearing care solutions. So that's just something to point out for your customers if they're currently on this plan. So again, for the hearing, there's no deductible, no waiting period. Coverage for hearing exams is up to $50 per year, and the benefit is $500 to $700 per year, depending on the plan. Okay. So implants, what is an implant? Implants are fairly new to the dental space. They're pretty involved, and really no case is similar. So implants are a metal post that replaces the root portion of your tooth. So it's the anchor that the replacement tooth would be applied to. This benefit, again, is only available on our DVH 3500 plan. It's covered at a class 4 with a $2,000 lifetime maximum. Now, how this comes into play, again, is really dependent on the structure of the person's jaw, the tooth. Some people will need, just a local. Some people will need more, more anesthetic than others. The placement and drilling of the post is into the jawbone. And then the healing time can really just depend on the structure of the person's jaw. So again, for implants, it is kind of complex. And again, everyone's procedure can vary. So it is important. It can take, a couple months. It can take several months to complete the exam and procedure for an implant. So high annual maximum plan. Last time we spoke, this wasn't available in Ohio. It did get approved kind of last minute, and I know we did send out some information, but we do have the 3,100 plan available now in Ohio and many other states. The deductible is $100 per calendar year per individual. Class 1 is waived for preventative. Again, the maximum is 3,000, and then the waiting periods are 6 to 12 months for class 2 and 3. And then the coverages are below.
Our agents have been asking for that for years. So
yes.
I'm glad
so
you guys finally came through, or Ohio came through. I don't know what the holdup was, but
yes,
that is
many
great
times
news.
it is the state, and the filing that kind of hold things up. So yes, we're excited to have that plan back. So what are waiting periods? So waiting periods are the time before a plan will provide service for basic and specific benefits. Waiting periods can be waived on our dental plans if they have at least 12 months of continuous prior dental coverage. And it cannot be more than 63 days break between coverage and the plan. Okay. Waivers are granted for class 2 and 3 services only, which means that we do not waive ortho or implant coverage. So those are 2 that cannot be waived. One thing that we did change in October of last year when we rolled out Dental Pro is that if somebody has a Medicare Advantage that has comprehensive dental coverage, that will count as the 12 months of prior continuous coverage. Okay, so I'll say that again. If somebody had a Medicare Advantage plan with 12 months of continuous coverage, so they were on that plan and it had comprehensive dental coverage, okay, not just, cleaning and exams, we will, the waiting periods can be waived, okay? And that's, again, no more than a 63-day break in coverage. So the waiting periods are listed again. We kind of went over them in the other slide, but this kind of lists the low deductible plans, the bundled plans, and the high annual maximum plan. And again, all the benefits do vary by state. So I'll have a map that shows what plans are available in what state if you're selling in multiple areas. Okay, and here it is. So the green states, as you can see, we do have the majority of our plans in the majority of the states. So again, we do have, excuse me, the 3,100 plan available in Ohio. The map goes through the other states and the other plans that are available. There's only one state that we do not sell in, and that's Massachusetts. So again, that's the only state where we don't have our dental benefits. So unlike our ACA plans, the dental is in 49 states. So the new states that added plans for 1/1 are Oregon, Minnesota, Ohio, Virginia, Maryland, and New York. So those are some areas that we did add the new plans or additional plans in most cases. All right, so why do people go towards the 3,100 plan? Why have people been asking for that plan? The reason is that is the only plan that has our total network. So that is the largest network compared to our Advantage network. So Advantage is a little bit smaller, but we still have over 85,000, I believe it is, providers. So that is the majority of our plans, the preventative plan, the lower plans, and then the DVH plans. Again, the 3,100 is the only plan that has the total network. So both networks, there are no referrals required to see a dentist. And they do access, you do have access to tools like Brighter Score, mycigna.com, or mycigna, the app that's available for your phone. It's available for Apple and Android and Google phones. One thing too to note, if somebody's not, first of all, we do out of network benefits as well. So the dentist does not have to be in the network. However, the pricing is going to be different. The in-network providers do get better pricing. So those benefits will go further if they stay in network. It's easy to join our network if a provider is not in our Advantage or Total network. They can complete the paperwork that is available on the Cigna website under the provider section. And then for the Advantage network, it's pretty easy. They can just be added. For the Total network, it goes through our provider team. So again, very easy for a dentist to become part of our network. So the new Cigna Dental Pro, again, this was rolled out, maybe not at the most ideal time, but it did start for 10/1. And we do have a lot of new enhancements that made things a lot easier than our previous system. So it is flexible on quoting and enrollments. It will auto save your enrollments. So it keeps current quotes on the cart. So anything that's in the cart, if there are any premium updates throughout the application process, it'll update that. You have the ability to do a side-by-side comparison and also filter on benefits. Okay, so those are some features that we have in Dental Pro. So this is what it's going to look like. When you sign in for Cigna for Brokers, it will have all of your quotes, all of your applications, things that were submitted, and the information on your customer. Okay. For the quotes, it does have the ability to go back in and see what you had quoted. Another thing too that makes it very easy is creating a self-enrollment link. Okay. So as an agent, when you're in Cigna for Brokers, you have the ability to create an enrollment link. And what makes it great is that a lot of the agents will put this link on their website. So if people are shopping on their website and look at the plan, they can hit the self-enrollment link and the agent will get credit for that application because it's going to hook up your Cigna agent number, your NPN number, and all of your information. So you're going to get credit for that. And again, right now, there's a lot of companies that are pulling back on commissions. So why not get paid for a dental app? So again, you can put this on your website, this enrollment link. You can put it on your email signature. I know a lot of agents do that. So if you want to talk about dental, like at the end of their enrollment, either for an ACA plan or for a Medicare plan, or just as, a follow-up, you can talk about it. They can start the link, you can start it, and they can finish it if they don't have time to go through it. Again, it's a really great selling tool, and we do pay commissions on dental. Okay, so in this Dental Pro, you do have autosave for open applications, so your work will never get lost. So once you complete something, it will save that information. This also shows the quote and what's in the cart. What's great about this plan now is that you can add all of the dependent and children up front to see the cost, whereas in the old system you had to go through the quoting process and then add them. So as you can see in this example, it does give a family discount. So this is just, again, average pricing. It does give you the ability to do a side-by-side comparison as well. And the benefit filters help you find the information a little bit faster. So if you want to, see what's included, what plans include vision, what plans include major work, you're able to filter that out in your comparison, or find the right plan that's what a customer's looking for. And then it'll go into the details as well. You can hit the details.
Christine, I had a quick question. So
Sure.
a lot of folks on the call are new to Cigna per se, and we would get them started, get them appointed, etc. And in the process of getting them appointed for this, would they get this onboarding link, and would it be exclusively for dental, or would it be for everything?
So if you are appointed for ACA, it automatically includes the dental.
Okay. Keep in mind that Cigna ACA is not in Ohio.
Right.
Okay. So,
but if they're selling in other states, the ACA, if they only want the dental, we can do dental only
got it.
appointment. Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Yep.
And by the same token, they would get their welcome packet as a broker, but they'd also get this enrollment platform link for them to set up. Is that right?
Well, they'd go into I'm sorry, Cigna for Broker, and they would create their profile
Gotcha.
once they're approved, because then
Okay.
their information will come up here. Like when we went to that front page, it says welcome back, Bill. So Bill had, in this example, had already created his login. And once he logs in, they can do this. Now, once you log in, you have to create the self-enrollment link. Okay. But the other thing too that this does is this links you to broker resources. So if you go on Cigna for Brokers and look at the resource page, there's instructions on how to set this up, how to create your self link if you're getting some questions. There's marketing materials that you can print out. There's, and we'll get into that. There's a lot of information on the website once, they get started. The other thing too, we're going to be doing, and we have to get these set up. We're going to be doing some, monthly trainings for dental. So somebody can just hop on a training if they have questions as well. And we can go through, the products like we're doing today.
Mm-hmm. Now, is this accessible? Would this, dovetail with Medicare? Is the Medicare portion also on this platform? You can tell I don't do Medicare.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, we don't have Medicare anymore. The Medicare
Oh,
portion went to HealthSpring.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
now I know. Okay.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So again, takeaways. We do have the preventative and low deductible plans. We do have the DVH plans and then the high maximum annual maximum plan again. And now that is available in Ohio for those of you only selling in Ohio. Okay. MyCigna.com and the MyCigna app are really very easy to use. So there are some states that the majority of the states that we do not send out automatically an ID card. Okay. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But the app is so easy to use because in the app or on mysigna.com, you can print out an ID card if you really want it printed out. You can save it to your wallet. Like if you have an iPhone and you have that wallet, you can save your ID card in there. So there's really the ability to get a lot of information completed. Okay. It also will help you find providers. It will also give you an estimate on your cost for a procedure. Now, again, it is an estimate, but it really is a great tool. So that comes into play with the better score and transparency pricing. So it'll score the dentists, and it will also have the transparency of the pricing and the estimate right here. Okay. And that will, again, be mapped to the plan that they have. So they don't have to have ACA with us to have dental. That's another thing too. You can do a standalone Cigna dental plan. Another thing too that I haven't mentioned is we do children only. So we will do a child only application as well. So that's a really big selling tool because a lot of people, they know that in a couple of years or a year that their child's going to need braces. So they decide to get a Cigna dental plan for their child so that they get that benefit. So we do child only. So guaranteed issue of dental plans. Again, they are sold in 49 states and it is coverage for all ages. So again, we do the children only. So another thing, I kind of mentioned this in the beginning. Dental is a really good opportunity to kind of round out your book. So if you sold somebody an ACA plan or a Medicare plan, having a dental plan, having an ancillary plan of some sort is a really good opportunity for that person to identify you as their agent because we have this little thing that we say, you don't want to be a secret agent. You want people to know that you are their agent, that they're going to call you if they need help or if they want to add a dental plan, or whatever. Also, you want them to be able to refer you to grow your book of business. So again, dental is a great tool. We do pay commissions on our plans. I know a lot of plans are either cutting commissions or, lowering commissions. We have not done that. So again, it's a great opportunity to get paid for writing a dental plan. And it's very easy and very low on the service as well. All right, so this is just some eligibility and enrollment information, which we went over a lot of this. We do have a 10-day free look. So if they're not satisfied for any reason, they can call. One thing that we do get asked is plan changes. So a new application is required if they're going to do a plan change for or an address change if moving to a different state. And the reason on the state issue is that the rates can change depending on what state they're in. Also, the plans could change as well because some plans are not available in all states. So again, they do need a new application for that. So the submission, you can submit an application at the end of the month to have it effective for the first of the month. However, if there are any fields missing, the app will not go through for the first of that month. So you have to make sure that the entire application is completed and filed prior to submitting it. This goes through termination and again, waiting periods, which we went over. Again, if somebody has continuous coverage of 12 months with no longer than 63 days lapsed coverage, the waiting periods are waived for class 2 and 3 procedures. Resources. So Cigna for Brokers. This is just an example of how the screen looks, but you can view documents and forms. You can find, again, marketing materials. You can find plan information, overviews, on-demand videos. So if you ever have a question, even on the enrollment and quoting process, this should be updated because now it's Dental Pro. But they can go in and you can go in and read or find a video on the information and different training materials. So again, the Resource Center is a great tool. You just go to Cigna ifpbroker.com/dental resource center. You can just go to your Cigna for Brokers page as well, right here, and it will take you to the individual plan information, and where you'll find the ACA and the dental plan information. So again, we do have marketing materials available. You can download them. You can put your name on them. There are some really good comparison guides as well. So if you're working multiple areas or multiple states, you do have all of the plan information available on one brochure. So there are a lot of nice tools available for you as the agent. Okay, physical ID cards. Again, there are certain states where we still have to send a physical ID card. All the other states are digital only. Somebody can request an ID card be mailed to them. It does take about 7 to 10 days. Also, they can access the ID card to print it out on mycigna.com or on the MyCigna app. So again, very easy to use. Or they can call and request an ID card as well. This is our contact information. So if you need broker support, if you need any of the links, I can get this out to you, and then the phone number for benefits and claims and customer service as well. All right. The bonus did end. So for those of you that got a bonus, congratulations. We are looking at bringing that out again. So we will update that as soon as we have more information. But this is our contact information for everyone. I do have a counterpart. His name is Walter. We kind of split up the states. There was a little bit of rhyme and reason to it, but and then we do have our national broker manager, which is Natalie Nealis, and then our broker managers for the different states. All right. Any questions that I can answer?
Terrific. Thank you, Christine. Okay. I don't see anything coming over,
Okay.
but by all means, if you do have additional questions, just let me know. Um, I'll get to those at the end of the, when we follow up in the
Okay.
follow up to this.
Yeah.
So
And again, feel
great.
free to email me as well. My email address is christine.ebert, E-B-E-R-T, @cignahealthcare.com.
Fantastic. Fantastic, Christine. And with that, we'll conclude the presentation, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.